Today we're talking about the ZCam E2 M4 cinema rig build out that I've done. I've got a lot of components on this camera and I'm going to take you through each one of them. So I mentioned this previously in other videos, but I like the ZCam simply because of the small form factor. Since it's such a compact and light camera, it makes it easy to just throw it in my backpack, but sometimes it requires to build it out a little bit. We'll go through my whole breakdown in this video, and we'll take a look at how I like to fully build out my camera when I'm not using it as just a backpack run and gun camera. So my question I have for you: do you think it's important to build out a cinema rig, or do you want to keep it light and easy? Go ahead and comment below and let me know if you are a light and easy sort of person, filmmaker, or you like to keep a built-out rig. Go ahead and let me know if you're liking this video and the others that I've produced by giving this one a like and subscribing to my channel. So the first thing we're going to look at is the camera itself and the cage that I use. On this camera, I have the ZCam E2 flagship cage. I like this cage a lot because it has a number of mounting points, and it also has NATO rails not only on the right hand side but the left hand side. The cage also comes with clamps for securing the HDMI cable and the USB-C cable to the rig. It's really helpful that there's top mounting points that give you the ability to mount the monitor and other such accessories, and I also use the side NATO rails again to mount my handles and so forth. On the bottom it has plenty of mounting points to put the base plates on, and it makes it a very secure and firm rig once you have it all set up. For the base plate, I'm using this Smallrig 15mm rod base plate. This is made for DSLRs, but it works really well with the ZCam. I also have this for my Blackmagic Pocket camera, Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K camera, and it's just a really light, easy to use camera base. And it's the mounting points for the 15mm rods makes it easy to go ahead and mount like the follow focus and other accessories onto it fairly easy and without much effort. On the bottom, mounting it together, I typically use the two internal screw points or mounting points, and then I use the lens side and the battery side for mounting the base plate. This tool I have here is the Smallrig multi-tool. It's really great for just general purpose. I keep it in my bag and with me all times when I'm working on my cameras. If I need to remove things, move things, adjust things, it comes in really helpful for doing all of that. And there it is. All right, all mounted up. And here's the base plates that I use for all my cameras. I use the Manfrotto base plate simply because I have a whole bunch of plates on all my gear that makes it interchangeable, whether it's my shoulder mount rig or my tripods or my gimbals. Next, I record to the Samsung T5 1TB drive. I use this drive on all my cameras also, and it's very light, portable, easy to mount. For it, I use the Smallrig SSD mount for the Samsung, and I mount it off to the side here. I sometimes switch between the left-hand side or the right-hand side depending on where I want to put my side handle, but most times I just leave it on the right-hand side of the camera. It's easy to mount, and the tightening adjustments for holding in the cables is easy to adjust, and sometimes it becomes a little finicky to use the tool with the small port, but hey, Right, so I only put in one screw and I make sure it's nice and tight. And so putting in the drive, this is the Samsung T5 drive. It's nice and light and small, it's fast, it's easy to hook up to your computer and put in. So I just mount that off to the side here and I tighten it up and then connect all of the necessary cables. And with this, I don't have to worry about how long I'm filming. It typically has well over 2 hours or more of disk space and filming space for it, and I could film at any sort of codec or bitrate that I want, and I still know that I will have plenty of space, and it's easy to unmount and then move over to my computer. It's a lot easier than the CFast card, which is sometimes finicky to get in and out of the CFast slot. There it is. For the battery, I'm using a NPF battery. It's the larger 975 battery. This battery lasts for a good few hours. I will run it and I infrequently charge it. The side handle, I am using the NATO Rail Smallrig wood handle. It's small. I have fairly small hands, so it's easy to grip for me, and it's very sturdy. I mount it with a NATO rail on either of my sides, and that's, again, the Smallrig cage makes that possible. And so I go ahead and do that, and sometimes I'll even use it as a top rail, or a top handle. On this today, I have the Mikey 25mm cinema lens. It's a T2.2. This is a great all-around walking cinema lens. On a 35mm scale, it's a 50mm, but here it's nice and wide and easy to operate. I like the geared teeth for the not only the aperture but the focus, so it makes it easy to adjust everything with your follow focus. On here, I also have the carbon fiber Smallrig 15mm rods. These I just ordered because they were some of the lighter rods that I'd ever used. They work great. I have heavy metal or aluminum rods that are just really either too heavy or don't quite slide in and out of the rails as nicely as these do. These are perfect for the size and the weight. And there's the camera up to this point and a little front and side shot of it. Keep you aware of how far we've come. And again, every time I put this together, I always have to put on the Wi-Fi antenna. Sometimes forget it, but then you go to connect your iPhone and it doesn't connect. On here, I have the Tilta Mini follow focus. This little guy's a monster. I also have a Tilta Nucleus Nano. I have some older follow focuses from Red Rock Micro, but this one is great. It has a small little case that I can store everything in. It comes with a couple lens adapters, so I could actually put gears on some of my photo lenses. And it's light, small. It does have the stopping points, so you can set your A and B points on your focus. And it also has a marking ring, so that if you have points of interest or focus points that you want to have, you can mark it there on that focus ring. I've also seen people put rubber bands on there and mark that up, which is an excellent idea. There it is so far. So for most situations, this is all I really would need to go up with. So for the Mattebox, we're using the Tilta Mini Mattebox. I will typically use this when I go out hiking, since a lot of the lenses that I have will need either sort of flare control for shooting in bright sunlight, or I will have to throw in the ND filter. So here it is with the ND filter in the front. I have a standard size glass ND filter. I think it's a Red Rock Micro ND filter that I got a while ago. So here I just, I have a number of microphones that I can put on. This Mavo mic is probably one of the lightest and smallest. This is sort of in my bag at all times. It's my run and gun microphone. I don't typically have it on all my cameras all the time, since most of the times I'm not recording audio. And most times if I want to record audio, I'll go ahead and use my Asden shotgun microphone. And instead of having a large monitor on top of the camera, I choose to go ahead and just mount my Manfrotto cell phone holder to the top of the camera, and then mount an old iPhone that I had laying around that I no longer use. And so it works great. I can wipe the phone and all I have running on it is the ZCam application. So that phone goes on the ZCam at all times. All it's used for is monitoring, and it works great. The mount here can be a little finicky to get on and off with the the mount here is a little tricky to get on and off with the Smallrig mount adapter. Simply if you don't know your right and left. Sometimes I struggle with. And this is the app. This is the ZCam app. I use this every time I shoot. It's nice to have the controls there on the phone, and not necessarily having a large monitor, but the responses are very fast, and you could always tell your focus points and get a good idea for how your image is looking. I like the histograms and the other features on the app, and it makes it super easy to run and gun and film with.